Officers arrested more than a dozen members tied to the gang known as the Rolling 60s Neighborhood Crips, though its leader was on the run. Well, within the last 20 minutes, the FBI announcing that man Eugene Henley Jr., aka Big U, is now in custody.
News that broke out that said that Big U was, might have been involved in your son's murder. I mean, do you believe he's responsible?
I know for a fact he's responsible. There's no doubt in my mind. Mother's instance, I know he's responsible.
Once you are deep in the streets, the only way you leave is in a body bag or locked up in the jawn. And this time, Big U, the infamous gang leader and self-proclaimed black activist, had no other choice but to turn himself into the cops after they went on a manhunt and provided strong evidence tying him to the his artist Ray Shawn and hands in several other tragic takedowns. This is the second time one of Bug U's artists was found red remand, and Ray Shawn's aunt and his family are not staying quiet. She's come forward with shocking claims on how Big U orchestrated Ray Shawn's death, just like folks been saying he had a hand in Nipsey Hussle getting popped, and it's looking like Ray Shawn might have seen something he shouldn't have and needed to get silenced for good.
This video as I come in to turn myself in, and I'm disheartened by the fact that they trying to say that I stole something from Developing Option, or I used Developing Option as a front. Developing Option paid my bills. They paid my house note. They paid the bills for my family, the money I made as an employee for Developing Option. I never mixed that with nothing. I didn't manipulate nobody. I didn't steal nothing. We did PPP loans. We did 2 loans. And that's it, just like everybody else did. I didn't use no fraud. I didn't give none of no fake names. And one of them we was paying back and one they forgave. You know what I mean? And the other one we attempted for and they didn't give us nothing for it. I filed my taxes and them coming around telling me I was using Developing Option as a cover. Cover for what? None of that's going to be true.
Now, in case you ain't know nothing about LA street politics, Eugene Big U Henley wasn't just a common thug or gangster. He had done a complete 180, put on a fancy suit, and called himself a legit businessman and an activist for youths in the black community with ties to the government and LA hip-hop scene. But long before he got here, he was first a small-time gangster with the Arlington Gangsters, who were led by his cousin Shelly Capone. But the AGs would later grow to become the Rolling 60s, a notorious gang down in Southwest LA. Big U made his name in the streets as an elite fighter and was even one of the top leaders of the Rolling 60s. But he wanted more than just street cred. When the 90s came around and people were getting hooked on crack, he saw it as a chance to make some serious money. But by 1992, at 26 years old, he got slapped with 23 years in prison after trying to rob an undercover sheriff's deputy of 33 pounds of nose candy during a sting operation. He mistook the cop for a dealer, and once he pulled out the popper on him, the other cops pulled up and arrested him. After serving 13 years, Big U got out in 2004, and he was smart enough to know that he couldn't just go back to being a regular old gangster. He brushed up his image and made his way into the LA music scene by managing Kurupt and Nipsey Hussle. He got in touch with Death Row co-founder Suge Knight, who supported him financially and introduced him to key figures around music and media. He also began his non-profit Developing Options, aimed at curbing street violence by giving young people through education, sports, mentorship, and advocacy. He got big names like Shaquille O'Neal and Draymond Green to make major donations to his nonprofit. He also received millions from the US government and got people looking up to him as a respected community leader. And it looked like Big U had turned his life around and done something for the black community. Or at least that's what he wanted people to believe. Fast forward to the 2020s, news broke that Big U and other alleged members of the Rolling 60s were all part of a federal RICO case.
Paint a very different picture. It is one of a thief, a liar, and a cheat, and the criminals that enabled him.
Authorities also say Henley is linked to the 2021 murder of an aspiring rapper whose body was found in the Las Vegas desert. Investigators accuse Henley of fatally shooting the young musician over a dispute. In addition to crimes, prosecutors say Henley defrauded donors, including celebrities and companies, funneling charity funds into his personal accounts.
Feds had already started looking into Big U's activities back in 2020, and then they were able to tie him to the 2021 of Ray Shawn Williams. Ray Shawn was just 21 years old and an aspiring artist signed to Unique Music, Big U's record label. Ray Shawn came in contact with Big U when he was in high school and played for the Crenshaw High School football team as a wide receiver. Big U coached approached Ray Shawn in football when he showed interest in it, and Ray Shawn developed a sense of trust for him and looked up to Big U. Ray Shawn and Big U's son, Dian Henley, who also played for Crenshaw High, were friends, and for a short time, he even lived with Big U. Ray Shawn thought football was going to be his ticket out the hood, so he put his all into it and kept out of trouble. But after high school, he realized that his football dreams ain't gonna happen, so he switched gears and started rapping. He signed under Big U's record label and began working with the producer to put out an album. It looked like Ray Shawn and Big U were on the same page. Ray Shawn wanted to make some music, and Big U wanted to get some money coming in. So on January 2021, Big U arranged a trip for Ray Shawn to record in Las Vegas, paid for his Airbnb, and settled all his travel and accommodation arrangements. The plan was for Ray Shawn to hit the studio every day and make at least one song for his upcoming project. But when he got to Sin City, he slacked off and wasn't showing up to the studio. On January 19th, he didn't show up to the studio for the second time and told a Big U associate that he'd double the work when he would come in. The next day, Ray Shawn showed up as promised and recorded an unreleased diss song that the Feds later obtained. In the song, Ray Shawn took aim at Big U's reputation and even predicted his own death, talking about being in the face with a .38 revolver with no trace. Now, ever since he came out of prison and started changing his image, Big U has always been big on respect. There has also been word going around that Nipsey's death was a hit with Big U's hands all over it. The two of them started having issues as Nipsey's music started making waves, and Big U believed that he was getting too big for the system. On January 24th, Big U pulled up to Ray Shawn's Airbnb and asked him why he wasn't showing up to the studio. Ray Shawn claimed that he didn't have a ride to the studio, and the only reason why things didn't go left was because Ray Shawn's friend was also in the apartment. But on the night of January 24th, Big U arrived at the studio by 7 p.m. while Ray Shawn pulled up and recorded a song from 11 p.m. till midnight. That morning on the 25th of January, once the song was done, Big U left the studio in the same gray sedan he came to Vegas with and met up with Ray Shawn at the Airbnb. The Feds reported that his phone stopped reporting location soon after he left the studio. Surveillance footage showed that Ray Shawn came out of the Airbnb, put his suitcase in the trunk of the sedan, and left the apartment. There was still a day's rent left on the Airbnb, and Ray Shawn wasn't due to leave Vegas until the 26th. Big U returned to the studio drenched in sweat and told the security guards that he just came back from the gym. Later that day, Ray Shawn's body was found lying in a ditch not far from Interstate 15. He'd been shot multiple times and didn't have any chance of surviving. At the crime scene, DNA samples collected from the body proved inconclusive, and the Feds really started looking into Big U as the main suspect for the couple days after the incident, Big U got recording equipment removed from the studio, and he destroyed any surveillance footage showing him and Ray Shawn at the studio at the same time. What makes this even more suspicious is that Big U had the security guards take a walk when the footage was being destroyed. That's the move of a guilty man right there. When the Fed declared the RICO charges, Big U was immediately declared a fugitive. They raided all his houses, and the FBI went city to city searching for him, warning people not to give him any money. Big U accused several people, including 600 and WAC 100, of speaking out against him and working with the Feds to put an innocent man in prison just because of some street business.
It's gonna probably be my last video. I'm gonna go turn myself in to see what's going on. They talking about I'm a fugitive. So they just raided all my houses. 600 was actually with the police when they raided my house. And he's actually got video and footage of it. So y'all know what y'all dealing with. And I just want to say this to y'all. When they raided my houses and my property, they was asking about WAC, loose cannon, 600, and this internet stuff. All of y'all filed.
But this wasn't just some street level drama. After all, would the FBI be doing all that just for some gang politics? Ray Shawn's family isn't buying anything Big U's selling. His aunt has been very vocal about his red rum, claiming that the timing of the whole thing was too suspicious to be a coincidence. She explained that she called Big U on January 27th, but Big U claimed he had not seen or heard from Ray Shawn. She said that Big U was close to their family, and before Ray's passing, Big U would call on a weekly basis just to check in. But after that call, Big U never reached out again. His mom and other family members who spoke to the investigators have pointed fingers at Big U, saying that he's responsible for Ray Shawn's death.
Because you don't like the word no.
Okay.
You don't want nobody to tell you no. Everything's supposed to go your way or no way. So I feel like my baby did something that you didn't like, and you did what you did. Now karma's at your door.
The feds were also able to connect a lot of dots between Big U and Ray Shawn's death, and a leaked phone call revealed that Ray Shawn's family had been informed about the arrest long before it happened.
They transferred the case to the FBI out there in Vegas, and Las Vegas police department is still handling the case as well.
So when did the test come back? When did the DNA come back?
It came back 2 months ago.
And they still ain't arrested you?
Well, they told me between me and you, please, between me and you, don't tell nobody because they don't want nobody to know. They're going to be making an arrest the ending of March, the beginning of April.
Gotcha. I'm going to sit back and watch the show.
They basically going to put his case in Nipsey Hussle case.
And his aunt believes that the homicide boils down to more than just a diss song. Big U's group, called the Big U Enterprise, operated like a mafia organization. Through his organization, he used his deep ties and long-standing association with the Rolling 60s to intimidate businesses and threaten individuals in LA. While the Big U Enterprise sometimes partnered with the Rolling 60s, it was its own independent criminal group. The Fed said that it was engaged in all kinds of criminal activity, ranging from planned hire drums and extortion, all the way down to illegal gambling and human transferring, if you know what I mean. Word is that Ray Shawn might have been more than just an artist of Big U, and was probably part of Big U's criminal enterprise, or knew enough about what they were doing to predict how he was going to die. Allegedly, Ray Shawn had evidence on how they were operating, and that made him a target. Before his arrest, Big U released another video declaring his innocence, and once again pointed fingers at his ops who wanted him out of the game.
So I feel like my baby did something that you didn't like, and you did what you did. Now karma's at your door.
Big U denied everything else, but never denied the death of Ray Shawn Williams. He never even bothered to address it in his video. But for someone with a domineering personality who's as ego-driven as he was, it's hard to believe that he didn't hold a strong grudge against Ray Shawn for the diss song or for something else. There is also a video going around where Big U low-key snitched on himself, talking about what he does to anyone who crossed him.
I was bagging my victims.
Closets.
Yeah, I was bagging
in dark places.
I was bagging my
Now,
victims.
was these acts happening to people
They were doing
or for
stuff.
your
I
people?
was helping my people.
That pretty much sounds like a rap, and everyone knows that the feds don't just drop a RICO charge on you unless they know it's gonna stick. This is crazy, and I mean crazy. They got that man dead to rights. He ain't never getting out of jail. The ish in there has absolutely nothing to do with Whack 100. Another hit a spot with anyone defending Big U, even after he allegedly is tied to the of a child, is a degenerate. Lock all these guys up and throw away the key. Things aren't looking good for Big U. He lived the true American gangster life, and now the rewards are coming for him. Question remains, is there a way he can get away with the allegations and the RICO charges against him? What do y'all think? Leave your thoughts down below, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more developing stories straight from the streets. Stick around for the next video. It's one you wouldn't want to miss.